Hi, everybody. Seneca and Alice here, and we are wanting to talk to you today kind of about the paradox of productive unproductivity. So we are kind of followers of Perry Marshall, and he calls it Renaissance time. So Julia Cameron refers to it as filling your well or as your daily pages in the morning. There's I'm sure there's other people that talk about it as well, but it's time that you are apparently not productive, that you are just either wildly creative in things outside of what you normally do, your business, or so it's a break in a way. And I know I have found, and I think Seneca has as well, that we have shorter times that we do on a more like routine daily basis, and then we try and allot chunks of time for the same or similar type of concept. So for me, just at the time when we're recording this, it's my goal. I have yet to succeed for an entire year. But to take the last week of each quarter off so that can be a time for just rest, recuperation, doing random other stuff. And that's the first couple of times I did that, I came back and was like, oh no, this is more hassle than it's worth. But the more that I do it, the more I'm prepared, the more those times are wonderful. I get a lot of ideas. I have, and I come back, and yeah, there's always kind of like you got to catch up, and so there's a little bit more chaos maybe, but then I can attack, and a lot of times I'll see, things I've been, well, how should I do this, or what should I do? Then I'll get some strategy and that kind of thing moving forward. So even though it appears like I've not been productive, it actually is a very, very productive time. So for me.
Yeah, and see, for me, I had always planned to do more of a daily practice, which doesn't necessarily happen either. But yeah, more like once a week, I think, is the big one for me. But right now, I'm feeling like I need to really dive into it. Like I need to let things go so I can fully get into this season of what is going to look tremendously unproductive to the untrained eye. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is this is not doing nothing, but it looks like doing nothing. But what it is actually space for you to just be, space for you to hear God, space for you to go research and go do these really colossally unproductive things that you have always wanted to do. Reading books, reading the Bible, daydreaming, fiddling around in the arts, whatever that looks like. A lot of times for me, it's just going down these rabbit trails. Like, what if I did this in my business? What if I did this flower essence blend? What if I did this weird thing and this little tangent? And maybe it turns out to be nothing, but I need to allow myself the time to go there and find out. And, the lie, of course, is that it's going to turn out to be nothing and a big waste of time and a lot of energy that you just went going in the wrong direction. But I think that's rarely ever true, because even if it is, it's like that information that you picked up in that time circles around and you'll use it at some point in some way later on.
Yeah. And for me, one of the things that I was able to do this last week is I had a question for God, and I was able to spend the 2-3 hours to just sit and listen, and see what he had for me in that time. So, that's, to the untrained eye, here I am just sitting for 3 hours or however long it was. I don't know exactly, but it's been, it was a time of healing and a time of restoration of things. So, and I've noticed a big shift in a lot of areas from that. And if if I'd not given myself permission to sit, then I would have missed out on all of that. So, and that would be a tragedy, I think.
Yeah. Plus, it beats running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yes, it does. I've done both. I prefer the sitting and resting. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've had entire product lines come out of that. So the moon phase essences were one of those.
Yeah.
That was a good week of dropping everything and just exploring. I think that's what that time usually is for me, is it's a time of exploration where I get to go research things. I get to ask all the weird questions.
Yeah.
Like when Dell and I went camping, and on purpose, we were supposed to be writing a book and we didn't write the book. We went on a weird rabbit trail and didn't come back. We started calling all these people from the woods, chemists and physicists, and asking them questions because we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
But so many odd little things happened that just corroborated that we were on the right track. And
yeah. And like you said, I think, and I think that there are elements that you pick up. They're kind of like little pearls that you get each time, and then eventually you can string them together into something. So, so like with the moon phase essences, that was like, okay, a whole thing all at once, but sometimes it's like little chunks. And then after a while you're like, oh, look. So
yeah, I think it's gloriously fun.
Yeah.
That's the most exciting thing for me.
Yeah.
Finding all the little things and all the little weird things that nobody's done before. Yeah. We got to have time to do that.
Yeah. And I had wanted to do a Bible study. So it's and I didn't get a chance to do that. So it's on my list for next time. So, or, and that might be something that for kind of my Sabbath days that I'll tackle it bit by bit instead of in one big chunk. So, I mean, I overestimate my my time a lot regardless.
I really can with that, because once you get in, you have no idea how deep it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's kind of what it feels like to me. I did a similar Bible study before, but I feel like there's more in there that I didn't have a grid for the first time, which is why I need to do it again. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know how many years and I haven't made it out of Genesis yet. I know I'm not getting it all.
Yeah. So many layers, so many details.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So we encourage you guys to take some time daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. So, it's not a legalistic thing. I think if you're attacking it with a legalistic thing, then that's probably not the right spirit in which to do this.
Well, you probably feel guilty when you do it. And that's just, kind of the point of what we want to say today is don't be like that, because that's one of the best that you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. There's amazing things. And I think part of it, if you're used to just going all the time, there's going to be part of that time that it's just going to be you going, this feels really weird. So, expect that as well. And then after a while, you're like, oh, this is really great. So, but, if you haven't done anything like this before, it's going to be a new experience. So, that's.
Cycling back around to Alice's point from the beginning, where she had to actually plan and prepare to take that time. So, yeah, you kind of do if you're busy all the time.
Yeah. And that's, with running a business, I had to make sure that my clients knew. I tried to kind of
Mhm.
scheduling of things and all that and that's what I haven't been as intentional about before. And so then I wasn't able to do it because, stuff would come up and I'm like, well, I said I would do it. And um so
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I have to do kind of a mix. I I purposely try to keep my life to where I'm not super tied down so that I can go and do all of these things when they come up. And,
Mhm.
when I get an idea or when I feel God is on something, I don't want to be super rigid about my schedules, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I have client appointments too, and
Mhm.
places I said that I would be and things like that. So
Yeah.
for me, it's kind of a mix. I have to deliberately set aside time, and then I deliberately just make sure there's room in my schedule for freedom,
Yeah.
which I know is easier said than done for most people. And I've been trying to create that life for me for a long time. So that took intentionality on my part too.
Yeah. And this is I don't even know. um I don't know how long it's taken me to get here. Years. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Years,
so yeah.
probably
It's
decades.
yeah. So, if you try it and you're like, okay, I'm not sure, then just know that's part of the process. And it looks different, just like it looks different for Seneca than it does for me. It looks different for every single person. So that's part of it too. If you hear something, you're like, oh, I really like what Seneca said here. I think I'll try that. Or I like what Alice said. Then just try it and find where you feel just that flow of God and feel his pleasure in what you're doing and do more of that. That's
Yeah, pretty simple.
yeah. Yep. So, and I find that when I'm intentional about doing that, even when I come back from those times, then I'm still more connected and I can sense, where I am, um, and that I can sense his pleasure in what I'm doing. And even if I don't understand what he's having me do or why he's having me do something or how it's going to connect, I still have that thread of peace that I can just kind of jump in and do my work, but from more of a place of peace and flow, which is helpful.
That's everything right there.
Yeah,
Working in flow.
yeah. If only I could stay there all the time, that'd be fantastic. But I've not perfected that.
Maybe in another years.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we know what we want, so
yeah, yep,
intentionality gets us there. So
that it does. So, alrighty, we look forward to hearing from you guys as far as what's working for you. Have you tried this and what works really well for you? You can share that with everybody in the comments, and we look forward to hearing from you. See y'all next time.